Hi, I'm Helen. This is Ryan, and we're going to do a gentle yoga class. And this is really good for people who have had chronic pain or have chronic pain and suffered any kind of trauma. A really wonderful way to help get to calm the whole system down. So let's start by just tuning in with ourselves. Sit comfortably in your chair near the front so your feet can be flat on the floor. And you can sit up tall without straining. And let's just tune in, find out where our body's at right now. So bring your attention to your toes, the arches of the feet, the heels, the ankles. And check in with your calves and shins, the knees, backs of the thighs and the fronts of the thighs. And just notice your sits bones on the chair, the hips, the pelvis, the buttocks. Check in with the low back. Just notice. And the belly and the middle back. Check in with the organs of the chest, upper back. And then bring your attention to your fingers, palms and wrists, the forearms, elbows, upper arms. Check in with your shoulders, neck, and head. Check in with your jaw. Is there any tension in the jaw? And see if you can relax the tongue and the base of the tongue. And see if you can relax the skin on your face. And just take a big breath. And now let's do just a little bit of breathing. So we're going to inhale and see if we can fill the lungs all the way down to the bottom. So you can just put your hands gently on the lower belly and see if on an inhale, the belly comes out. And exhale. And we'll do this a few times and just try to do this at your own pace. Inhale deeply, fill the lungs all the way to the bottom. And make your exhale longer than the inhale. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Big inhale. See if you can get those hands to come out. And exhale longer. And there we are. It's a really quick way to calm down the whole system. So let's start out with some torso rotations. Your hands can be on your knees or thighs. And we're just going to hinge from the hips and go make a huge circle all the way around. And now the rule in this class is no pain. So we're going to move in a way that our body feels comfortable with. It's fine to feel stretching. We want to feel stretching, but no pinching or pain. We want our body to feel happy with this workout, not scared of it. So slow, rhythmic breathing. And now let's go the other direction. And you're just breathing slowly and rhythmically. And notice the stretching. You probably feel it in your waist. You might feel it in other places. And just notice that. Just getting gently warmed up. One more big circle. And back to the middle. Take a big breath. So next for the spinal plexus, I'm going to move my chair sideways so you can see. And Ryan's going to stay facing forward. So now we want hands on the knees or thighs, feet flat on the floor. The torso is straight up and down without straining, shoulders down and relaxed. And now on an inhale, I'm going to bring my chest forward, chin forward, and shoulders back. And on an exhale, I'm going to roll the ribs back and shoulders come forward. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Over and over at your own pace. It's fine to go slower if that's what your body would like. It's fine to go a little faster as long as there's no snapping movement. We're going to try to keep the chin more or less level because that way we can concentrate more on the whole back, not just the neck. Because a lot of times, if we have back pain or numbness or things like that, there are muscles in the back that are tensed up, locked in a certain position, and we're trying to get those muscles to gently wake up. So this is like a dance with the whole spine, all those tiny little spine muscles, just gently warming up, not being scared of you doing a sudden movement, and having slow rhythmic breathing really helps. Inhale forward, exhale back. It's a super restorative move. Now you're a little bit warmed up, so see if you can push the edges of your range of motion here. Just go like half an inch farther on each end, as long as that doesn't cause pain. You just do what your back is happy with. Notice all the sensations. One more forward and back. And back to the middle and rest. Now we'll do our twist. So these can be done standing, but it's in order to keep the pelvis and knees straight forward, it is easier to do it while you're seated. So hands reach way out to the side, keep the shoulders down and relax. See if you can touch the shoulders. And if not, then it's fine to have the hands up like this, cactus hands. And then, so tall spine, and we're gonna just rotate around to one side and rotate around to the other side. Slow rhythmic breathing. And just notice what's stretching. This is a super important movement for being able to walk comfortably. Because when we walk, we have a mild twisting motion that propels us forward. And if our muscles for that twisting motion are locked up, it gets a lot harder to walk. So just see if you can notice if you have more tension on one side than the other, which is common. So just notice which side. And one more each side. And back to the middle, hands down and rest. Okay, now bear grip. We're going to put one hand palm facing up, fingers point up. Other hand, palm facing down, fingers point down. We're going to pull the fingers against each other for some isometric movement and keep the shoulders down and relax. The fingers stay right here, right in the middle. And we're going to bring one elbow up and the other elbow up, keeping the head centered. So if you haven't done this much, it takes concentration in the beginning. And then slow breathing. And see if with your mind you can locate the shoulder blades and notice what they're doing. And one shoulder blade goes up, and then the other one goes up. Massaging your back with your own shoulder blades. Slow, rhythmic breathing. So if this is difficult for you, just do as much as you can do. This is not a rock the baby movement. We're keeping the hands right in the middle and just seeing if we can bring one elbow up and the other elbow up, and just as much as you can do without pinching or pain. And one more each side. Hands down and rest. Take a big breath. Hey, shoulder shrugs. Let the hands just hang down from the shoulders. And on an inhale, shoulders come straight up towards the ears. Exhale, let them drop. Inhale up. Exhale, drop. Over and over. At your own pace. You decide the pace. If you start having pinching or pain, just stop. Take a great big breath. Relax. And then decide if you're going to join in again. Last one, squeeze it up, squeeze it up, squeeze it up, squeeze it up, squeeze it up. Drop. Let the chin drop all the way down to the chest. And let's roll the chin across the chest towards one side slowly. And roll the chin across the other side slowly. Back and forth a number of times. Gently stretching out the neck. See if you can get that whole range of motion. Now roll the chin to the center of the chest first, then bring the head up in the middle. Big breath. Now we're going to lengthen the neck. Just bring the head up towards the ceiling, just using the muscles. On an inhale, exhale, let the head fall towards the other shoulder. And opposite shoulder, gently roll it back. And now decide how you're going to stretch this side. You can either hold the hand out to the side. And if you've got carpal tunnel, you might feel this pinching. So find a comfortable place, or hold your chair, or hold your arm behind your back. So you decide the medium stretch and breathe. And head up in the middle. Big breath. Lengthen the neck again. Inhale up. And now head falls to the other side. Choose what to do with this hand, either out to the side or holding onto your chair or behind your back. And you got a medium stretch through this shoulder and neck. Breathe. back up in the middle. Okay, lengthen the neck one more time. Inhale up. And as you exhale, rotate the head all the way over to one side. All the way over to the other side. You need this movement for driving. All the way over to the first side. All the way over to the second side. And back to the middle. Take a breath. Okay, now we're going to do some core moves. The core muscles are all the muscles between the knees and the neck, front and back, not just the abs. And so a lot of times when we have weak core muscles, the lower back gets to do most of the work, which can cause us pain. So I want you to pay special attention that you're not hurting your low back. You've got to use all these muscles. So first, you're going to put one foot way out to the side, hold onto your chair with this hand, opposite arm up, and we're going to see if we can bring the elbows and knees together. And just do what you can. And if you can only go a little bit, that's fine. Just do what you can do and you will get stronger. Last one. And knees back to the middle. Take a couple of breaths. And now other side. See if you can get the elbow and knee to come together. Keep the torso straight up and down. Fact that your low back isn't straining. Last one. And back to the middle. Take a few breaths to rest. So these are vigorous moves, these core moves. So if you need to stop and breathe while we're still working, please do that. Okay, next we're going to raise the arms up on an inhale. And on an exhale, bring one knee up while the arms come down. And reach way up, and then other side. We'll do this about 6 times. It helps to reach way, way up in the middle. It helps take the strain off the back. Last set if you can. And hands down and rest. Okay, last one. We're going to touch our big toes to the floor. Hold on really securely to the chair, to the seat or the legs. And just then using all the core muscles, we're going to see if we can bring the toes up off the floor and tap. If the toes don't come off the floor, just the effort of trying to get them off the floor will make you get stronger. Last one. And breathe. Now to stretch that out, I'm going to turn my chair to the side. We'll do upside down, happy baby. So have the knees wide apart, hands on the knees. And I'm going to bring my chest forward, 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 my chin forward, hinging from the hips. And my belly can go in between my thighs, my wide open thighs, and then hands can slide down the shins. Let your head hang and just breathe. And if you need to keep your arms on your thighs to support your back, that's fine too. Just really notice a wide open space in your low back here and breathe. Let your head hang. And now put your hands on your knees, engage your lower belly muscles, and push yourself up. And let's come up to standing. And this is what I call Kundalini breathing because it's breathing with movement. So first, let's find a nice, comfortable stance. It's going to bounce a little bit. See if your weight is evenly divided between your feet so you're not more on one side than the other. And now notice if your knees are locked back. If a lot of people, if you stand with the knees locked back, then it makes the hips set back a little bit and it can pinch the low back. So see if you can soften the knees a little bit. Have the shoulders and hips lined up over the arches. Shoulders down and relax. And also notice if you're in a slightly bending over posture, then just bring the ribs up. Okay. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, stretch out. And down. And up. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, stretch out. And down. And up. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, stretch out. And down. And up. One more. Inhale, stretch way up. Exhale, stretch out. And down. Hands to the heart. And relax. And let's go the other way. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, stretch up. And down. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, stretch up. And down. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, stretch up. And down. One more. Inhale, stretch way out. Exhale, stretch way up. Bring hands back to the heart. And relax. Okay, so in the beginning, when we were doing our torso twist, I asked you to see if you could notice if one side was more tense than the other. And if that's the case, see if you can remember which side that was. These moves are gonna stretch these rib and side muscles, which can make a huge difference in back pain. Because if one side is tensed up, it throws everything off. It can really contribute to pain. So let's get really, really, really relaxed. One arm, we're just gonna swing it, just floppy like a rag doll. Just swing it. And swing that arm up and crawl up, up, up with the fingertips. So I got a straight line, fingertips down to the heel. And then I'm gonna tilt over to the other side. And then straight up again, so like I'm hanging from my fingertips. And let the arm. And now the other side, just swing it, totally, totally relaxed. Swing it up, crawl up, up, up with the fingertips. Tilt over to the other side. And now straight up again. And let the arm down. And now the first side, swing it, Pulling it up, crawl up with the fingertips. Now tilt over to the other side. And now straight up again. And let the arm down. And second side, swing it. This should not hurt. Swing it up. Crawl up, up, up. Go over to the other side. Straight up again. And let the arm down. And now both sides, just swing it. Swing both arms up. Make sure the lower belly muscles are engaged when your arms are above the head. Wiggle to get as tall as you can. And tilt straight sideways to one side and breathe. Back up in the middle. Sideways to the other side and breathe. Back up in the middle. Wiggle. Sideways to the first side and breathe. Back up in the middle. And sideways to the second side and breathe. Back up in the middle. Okay, get as tall as you possibly can. Lower belly muscles are engaged. Push the hips slightly forward. Bring the arms and head slightly back. Breathe. Come back to center and let the arms down. All right. I'm doing all that computer posture. Okay, next, half eagle. There are two ways to do this. One way is you can put one hand on each shoulder. I'm going to show from this side and Brian can show from the front. And just stretch the ribs back and the elbows forward like this. And notice which hand's on top because the next time you switch. And another way to do it is to bend one arm in front of your face and the other arm, swing it underneath. See if you can grab your hand or wrist or something. Bring the elbows down towards the face, straight up and down, and just breathe into the stretch. And you can feel the stretch in the backs of your ribs and around the side. Breathe. And release. Okay, now other side. Other hand on top, other arm in front of your face. Swing underneath, grab something, bring the elbows down, breathe into the stretch. So if you're doing hands on shoulders, you're pulling your ribs way back and your elbows way forward. Breathe. And release. Good work. So now time for our floor moves, which I'm going to show the chair version and Ryan will show on the floor. So just to repeat, if any of these moves hurt, don't do moves that hurt. You can just back out of the pose if it hurts and do it more mildly, or you can just stop and do slow breathing while the rest of the finish the moves. So first thing we're going to do is windshield wiper. If you're on the floor, you're going to lie on your back with your knees bent and feet apart. If you're in the chair, you're going to sit towards the front of the chair and the feet wide apart, and you're going to hold on to the seat or legs of the chair. In both cases, we're going to just allow the knees to go all the way over to one side and all the way over to the other side. And you're going to just relax the mind and allow the body to decide how far the knees are going to go. So you can let your lower back and hips and waist and knees, thighs decide how far the knees go to one side or the other side. And you go at your own pace. You can go slower or faster. Just tune in to your body. So this is really a meditation. Just relax the mind. Notice what's happening in the body. Allow slow, rhythmic, comfortable movement and rhythmic breathing. A very restorative move. And then when you get to the next side, hold it there for a few breaths. And go to the other side and hold it there for a few breaths. And knees back to the middle. And now we'll do our leg stretches. So if you're on the floor, bring your right leg up, right foot up, keep head on the ground. And maybe you can hold behind the thigh if that's comfortable for you. And heel points towards the ceiling. If you're in the chair, right foot goes way out in front of you, heel on the ground, toes pointing up. Put both hands on your right thigh, push up to lengthen your spine first, then hinging from the hips, slide the hands down the leg till you get to a medium stretch. So let's all find a nice medium stretch, floor or chair. Big inhale. Exhale. See if you can stretch just a little bit farther without any pain or strain. And breathe. So you're going to make sure that the face muscles are all relaxed, no clenching of the teeth, slow rhythmic breathing. If those things can't happen, pull back out of this stretch until you can do a comfortable stretch. Get much better results from a comfortable stretch. Now, if you're on the floor, bring the right elbow out to the side on the floor. Bring the right leg out to the side and hold it with your right hand. Make sure the pelvis stays level, which takes concentrating. In the chair, bring your right leg way out to the right, and your left leg is still pointing to the left. And hands on the right thigh, push up, lengthen the spine, then slide the hands down the leg. And breathe. Make sure there's no pinching in the back. And now bring that leg over all the way to the other side. If you're on the floor, let the hips roll, and you can stretch out your arms any way that feels good. Full crossbody twist if you're on the floor. In the chair, you got to hold on with your left hand, push up on your right thigh with your right hand. Lengthen the spine, slide the hand down the leg, breathe. So if you're on the floor, just notice all the places you feel the stretch. You might feel it all the way through your armpit, down your arm, or you might not. Nice twist for the belly area too. And now bring that leg back to the middle. We'll do wind removing pose. So bring the thigh bone as close to the belly and chest as you can get it. You can hold either behind the thigh or in front of the shin and squeeze. And now breathe against the pressure. Push the heel away. Pull the toes towards the face. And release. Okay, let's do the other side. Left leg up. If you're on the floor, you can hold behind the thigh. A chair, left foot way out in front of you, heel on the ground, toes pointing up. Both hands on the left thigh, push up, lengthen the spine. Hinge from the hip, slide the hands down the leg. Now let's find our medium stretch. Big inhale. Exhale, relax into the stretch. So you find your own point of stretch for today, where you're feeling the stretch and thinking, okay, this is good. I can hang out here for a little bit. If you're on the floor, bring the left elbow out to the side on the floor. Bring the left leg out to the side. Hold it with your left hand. Pelvis stays level, not tilted. And if you're in the chair, left leg comes out to the left and the right leg still going to the right. Push up against the thigh to lengthen the spine, then hinge from the hips to slide the hands down the leg. Breathe. And now bring that leg all the way over to the other side. Full crossbody twist if you're on the floor. If it feels good, you can let your arms out to the side. In the chair, you got to hold on with the right hand. Push up against the left thigh with the left hand to lengthen the spine and hinge from the hips. Breathe. And now bring that leg back to the middle. And when removing pose, bring that thigh bone as close to your belly and chest as you can. Squeeze, breathe against the pressure. Massaging your internal organs with your breathing, with your diaphragm. And release. Take a big breath. Okay, bridge, floating bridge. So if you're on the floor, stay lying down, knees bent, feet apart. Bring your heels close to your butt, but they don't have to be, don't have your knees pinching. And now put your elbows into the ground and push up between your, with your elbows and heels. Bring your hips up with an inhale and let them come back down with an exhale. And in the chair, we're going to do super slow. Just do this over and over at your own pace. If you're on the floor and you want to hold the hips up for a few breaths, go ahead and try it. You know, always keep the back of the head on the floor. You're in the chair. Let's see how much nice range of motion we can get with the spinal flexors. Okay, last one. And then relax back down. And now for our counter pose, we'll do happy baby. So if you're on the floor, bring your feet up, knees are wide apart, and maybe you can hold your feet, or maybe you can just hold your thighs or ankles or calves, whatever you can reach. In the chair, we'll do upside down happy baby, hands in front of the knees. Bring the chest and chin forward, 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 belly in the middle of the thighs. And let your head hang. This is an excellent stretch for the pelvic floor muscles and hips. If you're on the floor, make sure the back of the head stays on the floor. And if you're feeling tension in your neck, you could slide the back of the head along the floor away from your body to lengthen the neck. If your head and neck want to come up the floor, then ease up on the leg pose a little bit so your head can stay down. And now only people in the chair, put your hands on your knees, come up to seated, and now let's all do the piriformis stretch. So right ankle goes over the left thigh, cross the right ankle over the left thigh. And now find a stretch that feels moderate with no pinching, pain, tingling, numbness going down the leg. So if you don't feel this stretch, bring this bottom leg closer to the body. If you have pinching, let it go back. And you can also adjust the stretch by pushing away against this opposite knee to make more of a stretch and less of a stretch. And if this is too much of a stretch for your thigh or piriformis, you can hold the foot on top of some books or something. Find the point of stretch that's right for you. And now switch sides. Left ankle over the right thigh. And this might be a different amount of a different range of motion on this side than the other. Just adjust and breathe. This is something that when we have the pinched muscles on one side of the torso can actually make one hip come up more than the other, and that can change how much stretch you can do from the hips also. Okay, release. Breathe. Now, if you're on the floor, roll over, come up to kneel on both knees and make fists with your hands, everybody. And we're going to find, with our knuckles, we're going to find these two little indentations on either side of the spine above the top of the buttocks. And we're just going to push forward and up and help our backs get into a nice long arch of a back bend. We don't want a U shape. We want a nice long arch, and allow the shoulders to be down and relax. And you can just look straight forward and breathe. The chest is wide, wide open. A lot of space for the heart and lungs in this position. And just breathe. And release. Now, if you're on the floor, you can have your go into child pose. You can have your knees apart. I mean, some people can do this knees together, but many can't. Put your hands on the floor, see if you can get your tailbone down by your heels, which Brian can do, not everyone can do, and support your upper body with your forearms. And then in the chair, we're going to do upside down happy baby again. Forward, 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 forward. Slide down. So the key thing in child pose is not to get the head on the floor, but it's to get your tailbone as close to your heels as you can get it. And if that means your head is off the floor, that's fine. I'm trying to do a stretch for the low back. And release. So now let's do our runner stretch. So if you're on the floor, come into a low lunge, one knee up, one knee down. Turn towards me. Yeah, turn towards me. So one knee up, one knee down is, yeah, like that. And the back toes can be tucked under if you don't have plantar fasciitis hurting your foot. In the chair, we're going to sit sideways across the seat of the chair. So I'm going to drape my thigh sideways across the seat. And now make sure your torso needs to be straight up and down, but with no pinching in the low back. So see if you can bring your leg farther back, but if there's pinching, then bring it forward till you don't have that pinch. And Ryan just did a really important thing. She put extra cushioning under her knee. So your torso needs to be straight up and down. Yeah. And you can put a pillow under your knee also if your knee hurts, or a rolled up folded blanket. Hands on the front thigh, shoulders down and relax. Look straight forward and breathe. check out the body. Do you have pinching or pain? If so, back out of the pose. If you have a good stretch, just breathe into it. If you're on the floor, pull the hips back to straighten out the front leg. If you're in the chair, you got to scoot forward, put that front leg way out front. And now push up both hands on the thigh up, then slide the hands down the leg. You can hold your hands either on your leg bone or on the fingertips on the floor, whatever works for you. And breathe. And release. And we're going to switch sides. So on the floor, that just means you switch legs. But in the chair, you got to stand up, turn around, and rest the other side across the chair. You might have different range of motion on this side. So figure out how far back this leg needs to go. Hands on the thigh, front thigh, torso straight up and down, no pinching. Shoulders down and relax, look straight forward and breathe. If you're on the floor, pull the hips back to straighten out the front leg. In the chair, we got to scoot forward, put that front foot way forward, push up against the thigh, slide the hands down the leg, and breathe. And release. Let's come up to standing for a triangle. So I like to use my chair to help line up my bones in triangle. The legs are straight, knees are not bent in this pose. One foot facing straight forward, one foot at a partial angle. Now first, see if you can get your weight balanced between both feet. That's the important part. Stretch the arms out. And now bring the hips straight back and this arm forward. Now keep the weight balanced between the feet. That's the tricky part. You can rest your arm on the chair or not, but keep the torso long, especially the bottom part of the torso. We don't want pinching here. Your torso is in a twist. You do not have to touch the floor like in all the yoga pictures. Some people can, some people it's not good. Let the head hang and breathe. Check the weight between your feet. See if it's pretty evenly balanced. Now using the weight of your hips, back up to center. Very good. And I'm going to switch sides. One foot straight forward, back foot at an angle. Balance the weight first. Arms in a T. Hips go out to one side and front hand goes the other side. Check the balance of weight between the feet. That's going to really help you in this. It's a super core move. Keep the neck comfortable. Check the weight balance between the feet. And then using the weight of the hips, bring yourself back up to standing. Beautiful. Okay, last move is standing stretch. I use the chair for my hands, so I'm not going to crunch my back. I'm going to stand a little bit in front of the chair, stretch up on an inhale, way, way, way up. And now hinge from the hip, put the hands on the chair, walk your feet to whatever is a good position so you can get a nice whole back of the body stretch. Keep the knees slightly bent and just ease into the stretch. And to come out, engage the belly muscles, walk forward, come up. Time for final relaxation. So this is the most important part of the class. This is where your body can integrate all the good things we've been doing. You can lie down on the floor or you can be seated in your chair. In the floor, you can have your legs straight out or knees bent, whatever is more comfortable for you. And now we're going to first do tense and release of the different body parts to help our body relax better. So raise your right foot just a few inches off the ground. Point the toes, flex the foot, squeeze the leg muscles tight towards the bone. Squeeze, hold, hold, and drop. And now the left foot, raise it a few inches off the ground. Point the toes, flex the foot, squeeze the leg muscles tight. Hold, hold, and drop. Squeeze the buttocks tight. Squeeze, hold, hold, and release. Squeeze the belly muscles towards the spine. If you're on the floor, you can push the lower back towards the floor. Squeeze, hold, hold, release. Now gently roll the shoulders back, bring the chest forward. If you're on the floor, maybe the chest comes off the ground. See if you can ease the shoulder blades down the back. Squeeze, hold, hold, release. And I'll make this with the hand. Squeeze the arm muscles tight. Squeeze, hold, hold and stretch the fingers wide, wide, wide apart. Stretch, stretch, and release. Make a squeezy, lemony, pruny face. All the face muscles squeeze towards the nose. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Release. And open the mouth. Stick out the tongue. Open the eyes. Look at the wall behind you. Inhale. Exhale. And roll the head to the right. Roll the head to the left. Roll the head to the right. Roll the head to the left. And back to the middle. I'm relaxing my toes, feet, and ankles. I'm relaxing my toes, feet, and ankles. My toes, my feet, my ankles are relaxed. I'm relaxing my calves, shins, knees, and thighs. I'm relaxing my calves, shins, knees, and thighs. My calves, my shins, my knees, my thighs are relaxed. I'm relaxing my hips, pelvis, and buttocks. I'm relaxing my hips, pelvis, and buttocks. My hips, my pelvis, and buttocks are relaxed. I'm relaxing my lower back, middle back, and upper back. I'm relaxing my lower back, middle back, and upper back. The entire length of my back is relaxed. I'm relaxing my hands, arms, and shoulders. I'm relaxing my hands, arms, and shoulders. My hands, my arms, my shoulders are relaxed. Relaxing my neck and head. I'm relaxing my neck and head. My neck and head are relaxed. I'm relaxing my heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, and stomach. I'm relaxing my heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, and stomach. All my internal organs are relaxed. All my internal organs are relaxed. I'm relaxing my brain, mind, and thoughts. I'm relaxing my brain, mind, and thoughts. My brain, my mind, my thoughts are relaxed. Relax, relax. Now take a deeper breath in. Get ready to come out of the pose. You can wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, rotate the wrists and ankles. Stretch the arms over the head. Stretch, 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 stretch. And that's good. That's our class. Thank you for joining us. And if you have any questions, you can let Ryan know. She will ask me and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you.